We're moving on to our second game of today, and we just saw an interesting ending with 4AK. Massive lead, massive advantage, 4 players left alive. Nearly slipped away from him.
Yeah, it got a little too close for comfort there in the end. Argo played it well. In all honesty, Moonwolf, they had a rough time getting out of Picard to begin with.
Yeah.
Had that whole hill to make their way on up while everyone was fighting in the same area. We saw Desperados trying to shoot into people. And somehow, not only did they make it out alive in that whole confrontation with them, 2 guys alive there, made it up the hill, and still, despite not having a whole lot of ground, I mean, normally when you see 2 people alive on a team, other than maybe it seems like Elgiganten 7, we know to be extremely aggressive.
Yeah.
Most teams just kind of back off and say, you know what, we only 2.
Not worth it.
We will start shooting if you want to fight us.
Yeah.
Until then, no. But they knew this area of the map, we cannot let teams stand around on top of us. It's simply not going to work for us if we want to stay alive. So they continuously shot at people and kept them away.
And we saw it there on the standings. Still very open here for Group B.
For sure.
Despite us getting on to the final couple of days.
It is, I mean, it just goes to show we haven't really had that one team. And we had, kind of, in the end of week 1, Tornado started really racking up a lot of points by the end of the week. Because we got to keep in mind, and we talked about this as well yesterday, neither Se7en or Tornado came off to a very strong start in week 1. But then by the end of day 2 and day 3 and 4, they were just steamrolling everything. We saw, even when they didn't win, they always had like 5, 6, 7 kills in every single game with some placements alongside it. It seems, though, that with that 1 week break, they've kind of, I don't want to say fallen back down, but things have clearly changed up. And also, we got to figure out, what is Setup Nick doing with Se7en? I didn't know about this. Why is Edelweiss not there playing?
Otherwise, he tilted yesterday and was like, we're not doing it again. It's all gone wrong. I'm like, I'm done with this. Beep. And then he's gone.
Yeah, I don't think that's the case. I hope not, at least.
I'd love if that was the case. Drama, let's go.
Game number 2, though, after the day has started, we see the plane in the sky. Pretty straightforward one, of course. If you're a dedicated Campo Militar team, then maybe you want to try and see if you can find somewhere else to go. But for the most part, should be a pretty straightforward game for the teams that are playing in this one. Anything out of the ordinary? We're looking around. Of course, when you have teams including El Zahar, even San Martin is a bit of a far stretch. Now, Tony. Hey, Tony. That's what your teammates look like. Yep. They're there.
And then he goes, nope, I love the East. I'm going all the way over.
Yeah.
It's the whole West side versus East side beef in terms of art of war. Everyone wants to go West. But Tony, he's the outlier. He wants to be that East side gang.
Yep, makes sense. Now we'll see here. Seems like PG and 3D Max, they've decided to share that little western split down by the crossroads southwest of El Pozo. Not a space that we normally see multiple teams fight around. But then again, with the plane being the way that it was, didn't really allow for some of these teams that like to go further northeast to go anywhere. This one, though, straight on towards Los Leones.
Yeah, very southeastern circle here. Now, most likely, Toby, we won't get that crazy island ending that we had before.
Oh, please don't even. No. We've had it now. It was fun, but never again.
Dude, that game broke me so hard. If you guys weren't watching last week, our end game was probably one of the worst. It's the Los Higos island that's just over towards the eastern side of it. And yeah, I'd never seen such a display of craziness go down in one moment.
No, it was just, I mean, we talked about how a lot of people died early before. But that one was absolutely beyond stupidity.
Sometimes that is just the way it goes, though, in these circles and how it all pans out. I think in terms of actually the circles this time around, right, this isn't too bad. The first one we had was very fair.
Oh, yeah.
So we're on for a good start for Miramar.
Yeah,
it's not as crazy as we've been able to deliver it. Toby, you're being nice for once with your mobile.
I'm trying.
You're putting it out there and you're like, I've been a real horrible person to these players. Let me be nice.
I like these teams more than I like the Group A teams.
Wow.
Yeah, they're my better friends, so therefore I only give the other guys a hard time.
Okay, so guys, if you want good circles, be Toby's friend. This is why I can't play games with him, because he corrupts my circles. When I don't listen to him and I fly off to the north, he's like, I'm going to move it south.
No.
Come with me.
That is, of course, not at all the case. But interesting. I mean, the thing is with this circle, this is probably one of the ones that we've seen the most. I don't know why that is, but these circles that kind of center around Los Leones early on. Now, of course, it can go anywhere from here. We can even get the exact same circle as we saw in the last game. But these, and then what has been a little further northeast, up towards Minas, La Bandida, and all that stuff. We've had a lot of those games too. And I like to say that these teams at this point has to know, if not everything, then for the most part everything of what Miramar can throw at them. But even so, I mean, when we're seeing circles that we've seen a billion times before, we still get into situations where a team full on commits to sit in one dip, and we as a casters like, oh my god, they can actually play from that position, and that's despite us, I mean, knowing quite a lot about the map, and of players, of course, knowing even more. It's just, I mean, this area of the map, it opens up for a whole lot of chances and opportunities and doing crazy things, especially down south.
Yeah, the craziness really can make it happen, especially on the rotations around. If you're trying to avoid Los Leones, it becomes a little bit more difficult. But were we fully against an ending going there?
Full on Los Leones ending, yeah, that's yeah, that would be a thing.
Do you reckon that'd be
worse? I'm
worse?
sure the players would love it.
Would it be worse than the island ending?
No, not at all. Okay. That island was absolutely brutal. I mean, that was on a level on its own. The thing is that the teams, they can kind of prepare for the Eastern Islands, because when you're out there, it's like, you know, that's gonna happen. This one just never happens, and therefore it's just not supposed to happen ever. Nemerith does get some shots fired towards 3D. Ooh, Hidrick takes some shots towards him as well. Not sure exactly why he wouldn't have stopped to shoot earlier when his teammate was under fire. Maybe that's what he did. Now he's going to be forced back off. Nemerith, a little bit of a frustration spray to finish things off there. Is he going to chase that?
No, please do. I'm all down for a Hollywood car chase.
Or is he just going to cross the road and maybe get himself looted? That would make more sense to me. Seems like he's just going to cross the road.
Disappointment.
Tarlans on our screens. Gotta give him a little bit of a little bit of a talk here, because they made their way in through the Open League. That's, I mean, already there, big achievement, so kudos on that. But they have not, in week 1 or week 2 for that sake so far, been able to find any footing whatsoever. I don't know what it is that they do that is not working, other than because when they do make it late game, they just don't tend to know what to expect from the other team. So whether it's them not knowing the lobby well enough, of course, when they've been playing in the Open League last phase, they haven't had that much time to look into teams that they weren't playing. That would be not counterproductive, but I mean, you want to focus on what's your task at hand, right? But I don't feel like they know maybe what all these other teams in the lobby are doing to the same extent that some of these other teams do. Because it's into the rotations where we're like, but guys, you got killed here last week doing the exact same thing. At this point, you should be expecting some of these things, right? And that's, of course, I mean, even in contenders, there are a depth in the, what do you say, in the level of the teams where some of the better teams, they shine through.
We're talking about better teams. Moonwolf, obviously, they got away with that 3rd place on the first game here, but in points, they're within the top 8 at the moment. It's not guaranteed anywhere near guaranteed for them. There's still a lot of back and forth fighting that could be had in terms of standings, but a good start again here. We continually start to see them able to reach these higher positions and also get the kills alongside it, because they were the team to really rival anyone with kills there. If they'd managed to actually finish off 4 AK, probably be their game that they would have won.
Oh yeah, for sure. They had a very good chance in doing that. Now, the interesting thing with this circle, of course, we talked about before how the southern side could be could open up for teams to do some creative things, but the center of the circle being a full-on city, it's pretty much the center dot is inside of Los Leones. We know teams don't want to go there. Teams haven't opted to go there. And that's going to mean that for that next circle popping, you have to react so much fast on your rotations. You have to be really, really quick about everything. But now we do see here Jambaway. He's made his presence known to the Stellar team, or to the 4US team, I should say, that have resided in the hills around here. You can see Jambaway on this side.
He's got teammates here this time, though, so I'm not fully against this. You can see Moorman and Vac close by. Kaz in his vehicle starting his rotation in towards his teammates, but also 4US have just lost the player as well. So on multiple fronts, they're taking fights now.
Trying to kind of pin them in here. It's a not an easy task, to say the least, because this compound does allow for them to push out on the backside. But as you can see on the map as well, Vac is trying to exclude that opportunity for for them. He's running around further over on the southeastern side to try and make sure that those back doors there aren't really going to be accessible for them.
3D Max, they can't catch a break on the rotations. They're meeting up with another team wherever they go, and this time Wago's just going to blow up all on his own. Luckily, just he was the only member in that car.
3D Max came in late. They were looting all the way up northwest, and they drove all the way down south. Oh, actually, they weren't. They were looting down by Bell, but they are still coming in late, and they're trying to take a, well, I mean, in my opinion, 2 center spot for their timing on their rotation. They know that. This is what I talked about before. They know Las Leones is not going to be taken, so all these other teams will push further out towards the edges, right?
Yes.
If it had been anywhere else on the map, they could have been this. I mean, if you just look at the pure distance to the edge of the circle as opposed to where they decide to go, they could have been there in any other circle. But because the center dot is going to be completely uninhabitable by players, you can see it now as well. There's nobody in that center. Because everyone is forced out on the sides, they should have stopped scouting, rotate. Stop, scout, rotate a lot earlier.
Oh, we still stay a little bit more towards the south, but again, it generally centers up here for the new circle. As Vinco, you can see up above, they're under pressure. Se7en's going to go down instantly here, and it's the boys from Se7en, they're going to get the job done.
Yeah, not an easy task for them to take these fights early on. They just have not been able to find their footing.
4AK and PG are the ones trying to get into the circle as well now, and they are the super late rotators. The damage isn't too high at this point, but they can just wait and cruise in while the other action unfolds.
Yeah, they're not in a hurry, but then again, I mean, what are they losing in making these really late rotations? Potentially spots in the circle, because if we go further south,
there's not
going to be a whole lot available. Ooh, VG Mailman, what's going to happen here? What's going to happen is the blue is going to go down.
Vinco losing 2 players here, and that's 2 players who are basically solo being picked off. Soda's got himself out of there. He's going to go group up with Dedexo, but I don't understand what they were trying to achieve.
They were rotating and people caught them off. That's simple as that.
2 different positions from as well, from both Se7en and then Tornado, meant they were completely pincered. No hope for them, but Moonwolf, Occo, he's up to his old tricks again. This time he's going to find Kaz from Stella. And this down here in the kind of southwestern side is the crazy part, because they don't have much they're fighting for here. They're all playing off the top of the hills and seeing what they can find below them.
The thing is, the teams that did manage to make their way around, they've took those spots. And now here, Jambaway trying to hold off the ankle. You can see Moleman and Jambaway, they are under tons of pressure from both Lassa and Mithralius. Big question is, though, for them, can they really full-on commit to this one? Or should they somehow try and get away? Oh, Vector spot, that's important info to give across.
Information has been seen, but how does he deal with it? He's going to go in for the cheeky revive in the open. Can it pay off?
Mithralius is immediately reacting to it as well. That is so clutch info to give across. And it's going to give him the knock as well.
That's huge as well. He's going to go flush that.
Mithralius on the other side gets down Mullen too.
Jambaway all alone for Stella. They cannot afford to be another team going out early on here. This is not what they would have wanted. Multiple bullets coming out towards Jambaway, and he does not have anywhere to hide. Occo spraying him down. He's on 6 points of health, and he will be finished off. Stella, 16th place off the back of a 15th place in the first game. What is going on?
Miramar in a nutshell. Have those fights last too long, and other teams will indeed start shooting in your direction. It's simply too far out in the open to have extended engagements on here. But now we talked about before how that western side was taken. 3D Max pushing up from the side and all the teams doing the same thing is going to make it really hard for teams to push continuously down towards the southern side. 2 teams, though, that did manage to make their way on the other side of things. It's going to be Elgiganten and Desperados. Seems like Nilas have caught himself a vehicle that's not going to be useful anymore, so he's going to rotate on foot from now. But we did see a player from Desperados go down.
Desperado, they've had good games the last couple of days. They still just managed to get a 5th place in there on the previous game. Can they step it up further here today? Because this is what will solidify them in hitting that potential 1st place and taking over Tornado, who's not had a good day in the last couple of days in comparison, right?
Yeah, now they did manage to get themselves a few kills on towards VG to start off the game. Maybe that's going to boast a bit of confidence and strength their way. Circle goes down south, and of course, fortunately, there are plenty of compounds available. You can see down on the southern side. But if your team in the north, say Quickmath, for us PG as well for that sake, how in the universe do you get down there? If you start rotating on the edges now, that blue is going to come to bite you. And look at Desperado now, that vehicle is not going to last them a whole lot longer. Coldemans and Calvin, you got to get out, and they realize that too.
Now, Winside, they are loving life. They literally just rotated down here, and it goes directly on top of them. They can move forward before most of these teams can.
Yeah.
But it will help this cluster we had down in the south of the previous circle. It was that southwestern side between Tornado, VG, Se7en, Tarlans, Moonwolf. They're all battling out, right? Now they can all start to move back further and say, all right, we've got some space here.
See Fake trying to crawl back. Help me, somebody. Help me. He has thrown up all his loot to crawl faster. That's not a thing, by the way. It's just me making jokes, but he's made a little snail track, but eventually that snake will die. Or snail, I guess you should say.
Now we see for us. They had the good engagements. They dealt with the damage onto Stella. They only lost Apocalypse to another player as well, so they dealt with being potentially third-partied. Where do they want to go from here? The circle's heavily moved away from them. And they are one of the last teams to rotate over now as well.
Quickmath has gone for the western rotation. That's what we talked about. When you can see here, with their rotations, with them being forced out on the edges, they're going to be running into other teams. They're going to be potentially having to fight them in the blue. Not going to be optimal at all. And well, I mean, it's going to make it difficult for them to really get any sort of rotation going, unless they just say, you know, we're just going to plow on through and hope that we can time it right.
3D Max have ended up with actually a really good position. All things considered. Considering how the rotation with Wago going down, they were getting shot at by multiple teams. They were a bit late to the party. Ooh, that's a fast bite going down there from the Quickmath players. Melman wants to try and tap away at some of them. We'll be able to connect one shot at least for now. The Quickmath should be able to escape quite comfortably here.
Does see him on the backside. You have PEL's just down to about half HP, so one random fortunate headshot coming in could be the difference maker. Seems like that's not going to be the case though. And for Quickmath though, we talked about them just before, they're going to be running into the teams because by the time they get down here, the circle will have shrinked in and they won't have that much room to maneuver around the edge anymore. So now they have to commit somewhere to enter the circle, and they're right in between the remaining players in VG and 4AK.
4AK, they again rotated very successfully here. This is what's crazy. They were the last team ever to rotate through. It was what? The circle had already popped to the third circle before they got out of the blue. And now they're in the real mix of it all, as there's lots of fights going on here between Desperados, Tarlans, and Winside. PG also getting a bit of the crux of it. Damage coming out towards them.
Winside catching a rotation there. Nemerith goes down. It's going to be Denethor with the finish up. New circle, though, going somewhat sent on the western side. Se7en has played this position before and gotten himself a good placement from it. Now Calvin trying to do some damage. Last remaining player from Desperados trying to hold off against Drone and Broken.
Coldament is just going to die out here. There's not much he can hope for. Drone finds himself getting knocked down. It's now up to Broken to see what he can do. Could he potentially revive his teammate? It's very unlikely, given the distance there is here.
Colder is going to go down to the blue as well. Unfortunate for him that no finish offs coming in from anyone else. Middleman now trying to hold off. Nades are coming in as well. Don't nade your teammate. Middleman jumps out like, guys, I'm still in the building. Wait.
Wait it out as Soda. Soda's inside there and he's just backing away. They must be able to hear him. He doesn't want to engage in this. Fires out a nade, think he's being pushed, going to jump out the window, see where he can go from here. He runs straight into Kopeth.
Wow.
He's able to land the headshot, and he gets a knock with the grenade that comes out. Could he do the damage? Instead, he walks into Example, and he will be finished off. Vinco out in 15th, but that was so close.
And look at who's third party in Quickmath coming in immediately for us as well, starting to charm in from the backside. Northwest is going to chill all by himself. He's been isolated from his teammates. Desperados do go down eventually as well, but look at the damage coming in from both Quickmath and 4Us now as well. 2 knocks, 2 finish off coming in, and all of a sudden, it's just Millman and Comfort remaining for Tornado Energy. Soda all by himself. Might not have gotten any points off of that, but he just helped take down Tornado's just 2 players.
Yeah, he came in a little bit like they did not expect what he was able to do there. The first nade knock he got, and then the shots on the Kopeth as he came out the window was on point.
And we saw Soda as well yesterday. 1v4 technically against Elgiganten. Then he got himself a triple kill off that one, right? There's some of these solo performances sometimes that can
oh my god, I forgot about that Elgig one. That was huge as well, because they literally all pushed him one by one, and even when they were running up on him, he was like mid-reloading trying to heal. He just dealt damage to him.
Exactly. He's a dangerous player. Dangerous player. Unfortunately, things, of course, as you can see in the leaderboards, haven't really gone the way of the team. But can they combine his aim with some proper rotations and the team all being alive to take fights? Well, who knows? There's still games to play.
100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. 100%. Yeah, Ducos tapping away there. You can see exactly where 4Rs have gone, and they want to throw a bunch of nades out towards them. Now would be the time to do it if you can get close enough.
The thing is, as you can see here, the small holes and like small windows on the side there, that should grant them some sort of cover. But as you can tell on Akko, it seems like he's a man on a mission now. I'm gonna get down there. I'm gonna nade that building. I'm gonna get 3 kills.
He's got your one track on his mind. He's like, keeps replaying it as he's getting closer. He's like, this is gonna work. This is gonna work.
Hold me, guys. I need kills. I need kills.
And then he gets the nade out. They poke out and kill him. He's like, it's not how I imagined it.
Watch out. Just go down. And you can see forwards, they have split up as much as they can now as well. So not full on committed to that one check after all.
Now we look at where 4Rs can go from here. When they know it's not just one team looking at them, it's multiple. Se7en have got themselves now up towards the northern side of where this new circle's gone. They've kept 4 alive as of now, and they haven't actually come alive in terms of just fragging out just yet.
Gotta give kudos to 4AK as well. This exactly is gonna put it into mod. They have Northwest on the northern side. Right now, sure, it could seem scary, but the fact that they have a guy on the other side of the road, and it's not that he's that much at risk. He's proning. He's been there for the longest of time. Should things happen, he can try and be a sort of a 4th ankle to try and help out the engagement. Should he be fought upon, maybe the other players from the compound can help him out. You can see his position here. He has a chance of shooting, and they can set up somewhat of a crossfire should teams start finding their way in between them. But of course, I mean, should he get knocked, then there's most likely no risk coming in.
Yeah, it's always a kind of mixed bag of emotions on which way it may go. Now, Misse gonna walk in front of him. And, oh my god!
Hello? What?
Did he not hear it? What was the sound cue? Northwest? What are we doing?
Did you have your headset on?
Yeah.
The wrong way?
That's wild. Like that was the easiest 2 kills he could have probably had.
What?
I'm not even going to pretend to try and understand that. Maybe he was caught off guard. Maybe there's some communication going on elsewhere.
Maybe they're having a huge Discord argument, and they're just screaming in the headsets.
Hopefully that's not the case.
That's
just wild. How did you not hear that?
Yeah, that was pretty interesting.
Noki looking for a big nade to come out here. He's going to throw the Molotov off as well. They've got 3 members here for 3D Max. The nade's coming back out towards them, and now he's under pressure. Hidrik, he can't do anything. Memo's able to find him knocked on the floor. Noki very low on health as well. Phantom's going to have to do the good job of trying to hold people away, and Hidrik needs to try and be able to escape back to his teammates, but he's not even going to have a chance of it as Tony Sosa finishes him off with the grenade.
Yep, out of war, they're still in it. Trying to stay alive here. They got a chance on the eastern side to do some damage. They have multiple teams around them. No, now Winside trying to make their run across, and Quickmath are trying to do everything they can here to hold them up. 4AK, they want to get in on it, but they just can't seem to get an angle on towards them. The
boom does land the headshots, though. The revival coming no problem, but it keeps Quickmath at bay for a while.
Yeah.
Gives you that space to move forward if this is the time you want to strike, because this is what you need to do. Put them on the back foot and start to push over. The nades are going up high as well. This is huge. More nades coming out. 2OU has to be left to go down to his doom. But Encelenso also catches the raw end of the stick there. And that grenade is going to find him knocked on the floor. And it's now up to his 2 teammates who are too far away to save him.
And the good Middleman and Comfort, who gets the last laugh here. They were the ones sitting third-partied by Quickmath earlier. Now they get to sit above and shoot down towards them. Comfort gets now gifted, and now Swarm. See him here, broken, trying to crawl on forward. He's been by himself for the longest of time, but he's doing a lot of damage, and he's getting knocks in all over the place.
He's going straight in for those finish-offs as well. He's trying to do his best, but his best is not good enough as the Swarm will go out in 13th place.
This has been a crazy game so far. 21 minutes, we're down to just 34 players alive. New circle's going to pop. It's going to go out east, so Se7en once again in a good position. Haven't been that active in the kill feed so far, but they have a chance to do some damage with this new circle popping. 12 players coming in from Art of War. They were on the southern side, but with a solo and 2 teams holding them off on each side, it became too much for them.
Still this fight going off between Winside and Quickmath, but Quickmath can't hold on. They were heavily pressured. The knocks came in. It was good use of grenades from Winside, but there is plenty of third-party action still to be had here. And Winside, they're just looking for some cover.
You can see the Boom is trying to make the run on up, get somewhere safe, trying to make his way in towards that circle. They know that 4AK is on the southern side down there, and well, it's going to be tricky.
Wow. Nades galore, and that's a bad position that we haven't seen too often here for PG-18. And we're going out next.
Gotta give it to him. I mean, Yannick has been the one to throw those completely insane, like mile in the sky kind of nades and get double kills with them, right?
Yep.
So maybe it's a bit of
taste your own medicine.
Exactly, nades coming back in his direction.
Occo back on the hunt, back on the charge, and he'll find it no problem at all. Lars is going to go down straight in with a flush, and Occo already looking for his next players. Jaxi in front of him, he tries to pin onto the aim, does a nice bit of damage, but he's got to be cautious here. They're both pushing up on him, and Moonwolf going themselves getting eliminated in 9th. A good attempt to hold on, but it just proved too much for Occo.
Got some kills with it, but not a whole lot more they could do there. Now Tornado Energy have found their way inside the circle too. Mithralia is somehow also still alive, despite them being under confrontation for the entirety of the early game.
I was about to say, all I've seen is 4 us at one point fighting.
Yeah, exactly.
Every time we come to them, it's just, oh, we're engaging in another fight. Oh, yeah. And here's another one.
Gotta give it to Tarlans. We talked about them. Rotate together, play it smart, still 4 guys up. This could be their break to get points going their way.
Winside now trying to push across. Donator being the prone player. The smokes are down. 4 AK locked away in this hut. Havoki, how's he going to deal with this? He knows they're going to be pushing up on him. He can't get the revive in. Nixty's finished off straight away, and Havoki just playing the corner. Look at the way he's doing it, ever so slowly stepping out. He wants to try and catch them by surprise. Moon is still there. The Boom's moved up in front of him, and Donator is now crossing the road. Havoki has all this information to play off of.
He has Ronnie inside the circle. You can see him prone a lot further in. Havoki could potentially try and crawl out on the backside here, but he's committed to... also sticking around at least for now. That smoke, though, is going to be fading out in just a short moment's time, and he might just be too late in his rotation now if he tries to leave.
I love this from Moon as well. He's still looking for it. Has he spotted him out, though? Is he aware? Havoki trying not to make too much noise, trying to be smart with it, and just keep himself very well paced.
He's going to go down and out. He tried to buy himself some time, but he ended up getting caught in the blue. And Krabik spots him. That's going to be a death coming in his way. And Havoki now on the backside here. I'm not seeing what he can do. Look at the blue damage coming in now that it's connected. It's even more of a factor.
Yeah, far too much. But Winside, they believe he's not there, and they will work together and move on up. Oh, more shot. No way. Deeks finds Havoki from all that distance. And Ronnie's thinking, no, the timing. We thought we got away with it. And now I'm all alone. I can't even save my teammate. It's just too far.
Gotta give it to both Elgiganten and Tarlans, though. It's 2 teams that we've seen make it into late game sometimes, but their downfall has always been not having 4 guys up. This time around, they both have all their 4 players alive. So I'm looking for these 2 teams. We haven't gotten to see them do those proper 4-man fights with their advantage going their way. Well, now you have a chance to rack up some kills here if you play it right.
And it's on Miramar as well, which we did see with Tarlans especially. Starting to have a little bit more success there for themselves.
Have a chance of showing us what you're made of. This is the big gallery.
The Boom getting a few shots out towards him, but he will find himself getting that cover he needs. He's grouped back up with his teammate. Se7en, they've been able to push out of their compound now, this new circle, and they're going to try and take a little bit more ground here. As a full unit, 4 players still up. They'll be walking in towards Tornado soon, though. Melman takes a few shots. He has been found. He has been spotted. How are they going to deal with it? Comp under pressure as well. The smokes and grenades all coming out.
I love the way we're playing PUBG these days. It's just, as soon as you get shot at, everybody just see the icons, nades, and now fights are happening again. Elgiganten, they knew they needed to clear the backside, and they're running down south. They're trying to take out Winside, but there's still players to be dealt with.
Donator just spraying away there, trying to make it work. Finds himself getting the job done. His teammates now need to come up into it, though, and Nelos is looking to push forward.
Ronnie as well is starting to figure, do I do something here? Do I just stick around for a little while longer? I'm not quite sure. Combat goes down. That's going to be their team down and out. That's the smoke, I believe. Yep, for the Boom to crawl into. Potentially a rest coming in. Holy cow, Nelos is committing to this one. That's a tough and a scary rest coming in. And then it's all. He spots him. He gets down the first one once again, but he's going to go down in return. Nelos turns around and gets the finish off.
Winside not going to be happy with that. They had the advantage going up against Elgig. They started off with the knocks, but Nelos and Co managed to stand strong with it. They're just within the circle as well, so they'll be able to get everyone back up.
I believe it was actually Buster getting the finish up on towards him from behind there. Fortunate situation happening for him. New circle has popped. It's going to go again up towards the road. It will allow for Se7en to sit on this side for a little while longer, but as you can see here, they do not have a whole lot of space to work around.
And they know they need to deal with Tarlans. They already took 1 player from them.
Ronnie is still alive too. He can stay put for a little while. Krabik's trying to throw some nades up towards Tarlans. And this is one of those things, right? Tarlans, they've allowed, especially in the meta that we're in right now, Tarlans have committed to sitting where they are. They have not gained any ground at all. They've been in this position for the longest of time now. You gotta go aggro, especially if you're 4 guys up. You got to push something. You got to do something. You cannot just let them pin you down like that.
Se7en, they're going across the road, though. They put themselves out in the open. They've used the smokes in good positions, and now they found Elgig just down there, who have not pushed into the circle yet, and Se7en are just taking it to him. Krabic landing some long-range shots on Danelos, and he's the one that's supposed to be backing up his teammates, who are now having to run away. Frank finds himself the knock onto Hugstar, and it's nice and easy for him, but Elgiganten will then be picked apart by Ronnie Craig.
Se7en didn't get in on the action before late game, and now indeed they are 8 kills already and more coming their way. Sadovnik though is down, Buster is as well, but Reses are coming in. I don't think Sadovnik is going to get up. Nope, not going to happen. Maga is going to get a finish off there. Krabic is up close towards them, could potentially be a threat. They have spotted him though, nades are coming down his way, but as you can see, Tarlans, they need to start making some room here. They're getting caught up in the top, but look at the damage coming in. Both Frank and Buster goes down again.
And this is it, Se7en. They got the knock and they pulled away from Tarlans. They've knocked 2 of the Tarlans players, and now it's Tarlans that are going to be causing them a whole world of pain as more players get eliminated here. Krabic completely alone.
Heard the nade coming in over towards Ronnie. It's going to explode just before him. He heard the shots fired down there before when he was fighting Elgiganten. So expected there to be a player down there. Now the circle is going to be on the dot. Krabic gets spotted out, and Tarlans, 4 guys alive. They have a chance here to make it out of that 16th place.
Back-to-back 4th places now for Se7en. Tarlans having a great game. 5 kills already, 4 alive, while they've only got to go up against a 1-player team in 4 Angry Kids and a 2-player team in 3D Max. Now they've got full control of this circle. They know exactly how to play it from here. But do they allow themselves to get upset? Do we see one player maybe overextend just a little bit? I need to see Tarlans play at their very best in this.
Gotta give it to 4AK as well. I mean, everything considered, they won that last game. This one, there was a tough one for them to do anything in, but they still have Ronnie Quay alive on the southern side.
And the most interesting thing here is, for a lot of these teams, like Tarlans, even if they win this, it's going to be a real struggle for them to even make top 8 again unless they consistently get top 2s from now on or something crazy like that. Yeah. So they've upset a lot of other teams by taking some vital points from them in this.
Yeah, in the overall, in the grand scheme of things, this one might not matter too much. But then, I mean, who knows? Could be the catapult they needed in order to start dominating the lobby.
Yeah, that boost to say we can do it. It is possible. Ronnie found eventually. Nice and easily done there by Phantom. 3D Max now moved into 2nd place, and it's a 2v4.
They have to win this. The way they're splitting right now, it's thin, but they have the vision. They know exactly where to expect them. Pango has a nade too.
Seen it.
He has a nade. You have a nade, buddy.
It's been spotted. Phantom seen him. Can't land the shot. Does finally manage to tap him down. Max is able to get the job done, and that's a nice, easy one to come in. Tarlans go on the cleanup spree. They get 7 kills and a 1st place. 17 additional points they certainly needed. It will get them out of that 16th place position overall on the standings, but in the grand scheme of things, they need a lot more of that with a fair few more kills.